going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another episode of this week's Dragon Ball Q&A video, where today we have lots of awesome questions to go through, courtesy of your questions having to be posted down below. And before I begin, I do want to let you guys know that each individual question posted onto this video is going to be directly reflected onto you guys, as I would like to know your answers as to each question posted down the comment section below. And of course, if you guys have any questions to ask me of your own, it pertains to Dragon Ball, make sure to go on ahead and drop your questions down the comment section below. And again, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and enable all notifications. That way you guys can be notified whenever a Dragon Ball video is posted onto this channel, in conjunction to news, information, updates, and discussions, hashtag notification squad. And the final plug for this video, in case you guys are not subscribed to my second and third channels, you guys can go on ahead and find the links to those down in the description box for Unro Network and for Unro Vlogs, for behind the scenes footage and tons of awesome content on there that you will not get to find on here. So without wasting any more time, let's go on ahead and begin with our very first question of the day, which comes from Kayla McLeod82. Yo, Unreal, congrats on breaking beyond 402,000 subscribers. Thank you. You are truly one of the greats in this community, but I also noticed that you hit 50 episodes for your Dragon Ball Q&A, so congrats. Thank you for that. So here are my questions for you. Question 1, do you think there was any chance at all that we may ever witness Gogeta versus Jiren in the Tournament of Power? It would be the perfect time to break a fusion in this, and I'd like to know if you think Gogeta would win. Question 2, why are people saying that Hit is still in the tournament? Well, I do have to say thank you so much, and we just officially hit 51 episodes for Dragon Ball Q&A, so if you guys have not checked out the previous Q&As, then I do recommend for you guys to go on ahead and check those out. Now, to answer your first question, Gogeta versus Jiren would be so awesome to see, because it's the perfect time to introduce a high caliber fusion and having to fight someone who is relative to a god of destruction in terms of feats. And I think that if anything, it was a giant missed opportunity to have a fusion type character be a part of this, because if you think about it, against Jiren, it looks like you have no other alternative but to use a higher power in fighting him, and they decided to go with the whole Ultra Instinct technique and power up, and Goku having to potentially have a rematch with the Jiren by the end of the tournament. Now, we understand that fusion type characters are very strong, but in a situation like this, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta versus Jiren, I'm gonna have to go on a limb and say that I think, in my opinion, Jiren still wins. And the reason for that is because looking at how he tanked a Spirit Bomb by pushing it back with his eyes, looking at how he was able to beat down Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku with just his eyes alone, you can't sit there and tell me that Jiren wouldn't possibly do the same thing against someone like Gogeta. And considering the fact that Jiren is a Pride Trooper and is hailed as a good character, I don't see the Stardust Breaker, I don't see any of Gogeta's moves, especially while under Super Saiyan Blue, having any sort of effect to Jiren as a character. Now, even Hit as well, we saw how Time Cage failed, we saw how the Time Skip failed, we saw how Cross Dimensions failed, so how else are you supposed to combat such a person than having Fusion? And I think that Fusion will not be shown in the Tournament of Power, especially with Goku and Vegeta, given the idea that now Goku has, you know, UI, and he's gonna potentially have a rematch with Jiren later on. It's safe to assume that there is no purpose for there to be a fusion. However, if you guys have missed out my Vegito versus Jiren video, I highly encourage you guys to check that out, as it was a very in-depth video of myself and my good friend Emish talking about the events of what would happen if Vegito were to battle Jiren. So I think similar to that, even if it were Gogeta in replace to Vegito, I still believe that Jiren beats Vegito and Jiren beats Gogeta. However, that's counting them as Super Saiyan Blues. If, of course, Gogeta and Vegito had Ultra Instinct, that's an entirely different ballgame. I think that right then and there, the tides would definitely shift favor and the fusions would actually have the upper hand. So for me, I'm going to have to go off on a limb and say that Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue would lose. I think that, you know, in terms of quality fights, it would be a phenomenal match to see. Imagine that, Gogeta going all out, using the Big Bang Kamehameha, instant transmission, having to use possibly Kaioken. In all those respects, I think that looking at it from an overall general standpoint, the way they're portraying Jiren, I think that for me, Jiren definitely stomps him out. For the time being, of course, we're not counting UI, we're just counting Super Saiyan Blue. But even though I think that Gogeta and Vegito would give Jiren a really good fight in terms of quality, by the end, I mean, looking at everything that Jiren had done and the way they're portraying him in the show, he's just too much. Now, to answer your final question, the reason why people still have hope that Hit is in the tournament is because they're in denial. I love Hit as you know, as a character, as a fighter, as an assassin, but let's be realistic. There is no way that he's still in this tournament. Various different characters confirmed this. Even Hit himself confirmed in saying, once I wasn't able to end it with one shot or with one hit, I confirmed my loss. My loss was confirmed. So if Hit is telling the audience straight up that he's out, then he's out. I mean, there's no reason to be in denial. People are saying, well, you know, his clone might be in the ring and he's hiding in different pockets and dimensions and whatnot. It's not the case at all. Hit actually tried, and Hit combated Jiren, and as an end result, there was nothing left of him. He got knocked out, and that's what people have to accept. I understand that it's hard to believe that Hit is out, but I'm telling you all right now, Hit is out and he's not coming back in. Now, just because he's out of the Tournament of Power does not mean that we're not going to see Hit involved in Dragon Ball anymore, because I understand that people wanted to see, you know, characters of like Vegeta and Frieza and Toppo and Dispo and various others, like, you know, like Gohan and 17 come back to likes of Hit. I did as well, and for me personally, we may get some more of Hit later on involved, like in a different arc, but as of right now, man, the top tier caliber fighter Jiren had wrung him out. There is no way he's hiding in a separate pocket of time. There is no way that he's still in this ring. He confirmed his loss. The Grand Priest confirmed the loss. Vados confirmed the loss. Vermouth confirmed the loss. Jiren confirmed the loss. Even Hit confirmed the loss. So if he's out, then that ultimately means he's out. I mean, even though I would love for that little fan theory to be true, I actually made a video debunking that and letting you guys know as to why it's not going to happen and all of the evidence that supports that narrative. But aside from that, as of right now, he's out and he is not coming back in. I mean, if by some chance this theory, you know, proves to be correct, I would probably eat my shoes. So anyways, Kayla, thank you so much for your questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from TankGamer123. Hi Alex, I love your videos, and you give good opinions on what you think will happen on Dragon Ball Super. I'm assuming this is the first question. Question number 1, what do you think Jiren's wish will be if he wins the Tournament of Power? Question 2, do you think there will be another arc after the Tournament of Power? Finally, do you think the Ultra Instinct technique Goku used against Jiren in the 1 hour special will return, or will Goku get a new form of Ultra Instinct? Well, thank you so much for the questions, and to answer your first question, if by some chance Jiren wins the tournament, which, again, theoretically, I mean, he should be the one to win considering how strong he is, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, he is the guy to win. If Jiren wins the tournament, in my opinion, I really wouldn't know what his wish would be. Not unless, of course, they swerve us all and he ends up, you know, being some sort of like an enemy or something. You know, that would be kind of like, you know, awesome to see, because just when you thought he'd be a good guy, they just end up swerving us all and he ends up being a villain. So for me, I really wouldn't know. Considering that he's a Pride Trooper, the only thing I can actually think of right now is for him to probably wish the other universes back, or perhaps maybe something involving the gods, or perhaps godlike power. It's kind of hard to say because we don't know too much about Jiren or why he's even fighting in this tournament to begin with, aside from universe number 11 survival. So for me, I really wouldn't know. I would best assume it that he would probably want to wish the other universes back, since he does represent truth and justice and the whole spiel of being righteous. So for me, that's the only thing I can think of. But in terms of his wish, I mean, what do you guys think his wish would probably be? Now, to answer your second question, yes, there will be most likely another arc after the Tournament of Power. Now, in case you guys haven't seen, the 2018 Dragon Ball domain has recently been purchased, so we don't know for sure if they're planning on doing another film, or if they're planning on doing something bigger than what we previously saw or assumed for Dragon Ball in terms of like a movie concept. But I can only assume right now that there is going to be another arc. The only question is what, you know? What could they actually do to raise the stakes that much more? I mean, for me, I would have held off the Tournament of Power until, you know, way after the Goku Black story, way after maybe an arc or two. I would actually have the Tournament of Power be the be-all, end-all for me at least, because I really don't see how the stakes could get any higher with, you know, the Omni Kings having to erase each individual universe. So I do think there is going to be another arc, and I do think that it's definitely going to involve Goku, Vegeta, perhaps maybe Oob if Goku decides to train him. But I mean, if anything, I definitely want to see a rematch between Beerus and Goku. That's been something that I really wanted to see for such a long time. Perhaps maybe we may get that, or maybe something else entirely. So either way, I mean, as of right now, it's definitely unknown, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in 2018. Now, to answer your final question, is he going to, you know, gain the Ultra Instinct technique back to when he fought him in the 1 hour special, or is he going to have like a stage 2? For me, honestly, I do think that Goku is going to have another evolution of Ultra Instinct, because I can definitely see him having a more powerful, you know, kind of like form or power that goes with Ultra Instinct. So for me, I would have to say that it's probably going to be the exact same power except more evolved. I don't know how he's planning on evolving it. I don't know what he's going to do to up the ante in terms of, you know, having any sort of chance against Jiren, but I firmly do feel like it is going to be the same power. However, I think it's going to be scaled much differently to where he does give Jiren that fight that he's been looking for. So anyways, my friend, thank you so much for your questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Kaim. I really hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hey Alex, I've really been a big fan, and I hope this will make it onto your Q&A. I wanted to ask you and your viewers, question 1, do you think Vegeta will eventually catch up to Goku? Oh boy. Question 2, do you think Hit will reveal Jiren's weakness for Goku when he is knocked out? Question 3, how do you think the tournament will end? Thank you, Alex, and thank you for your content. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for your questions, man, and thank you always for being a supporter. Now, to answer your first question, I really do hope that Vegeta does end up catching up, because how unfair would it be that Goku supersedes him by having UI and always stays ahead? I personally feel like Vegeta should eventually definitely catch up. In the manga, it's going to be safe to assume that he may actually catch up to Goku in the manga, but in the anime, I would love to see Vegeta have a moment to where, similar to Super Saiyan Blue being revealed for the first time against Golden Frieza, I definitely would love to see a situation arise to where it's Vegeta that also achieves a much higher level of power, to where he can actually assist Goku or do something to where he can help Goku out, because I don't want to see Goku just remain ahead and never having, you know, someone that can always push him to train that much more. And the idea that Vegeta was always that guy to push Goku, you know, to train that much more, just as Goku had pushed him. But for me at least, I would only want to hope that Vegeta does get something that can help him out, some sort of like an evolution. Even though most people don't like Vegeta, or they're gonna say, oh, Vegeta's trash, or Vegeta this and that, I really do feel as if he would definitely bring something credible to the table. It's only a matter of question of how they're going to do it and when exactly are they going to capitalize with that. But for me, I would say I would like to see that happen, but I just don't think it's going to happen right now, but it definitely might happen like as the show progresses. Now, to answer your second question, as you saw based on episode 111, Hit didn't reveal anything. Jiren was completely fine by the end of this entire fight. He didn't have any weakness be revealed. The only thing we noticed was his eyes, his glare, produces some sort of like an energy barrier or some sort of like shield that can garner someone from attacking him. So I just feel like to take Jiren out, you need to bypass that, and I don't think that Hit revealed anything too crazy, but I think that definitely Hit gave him a good fight. In the long run though, however, I think that Goku and Jiren is bound to happen at the very end, which kind of goes into your third question as to how I think the tournament's going to end. I definitely feel one of three things are going to happen. Either scenario A, Jiren beats everybody. Scenario B, Goku beats Jiren. Or scenario C, Frieza ends up winning by simply noticing that Jiren and Goku have tired each other out, or something happens to where one eliminates the other, and then Frieza finally comes in and does throwing him out, making him the final person to stand in the Tournament of Power. So, I mean, as of right now, it all depends on how you want to look at it, but those are my three scenarios that I can definitely see happening, because people tend to forget that Frieza is being kept. He's being kept hidden in the shadows as a primary villain for a specific reason. Whatever reason that may be, we don't know about as of right now, but of course he is planning something devious. But in the long run, in terms of how it's going to end, those are my 3 predictions. I mean, I don't see Toppo winning. I don't see Vegeta winning. I don't see Gohan winning anymore. I mean, this is turned into a very one-sided fight with just the 3 of these guys remaining, you know, Frieza, Goku, and Jiren. So that's just my take on it, but I want to know down below as to what you guys think is going to happen by the end of this tournament. So thank you so much for your questions, my friend. I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, everybody, thank you all so very much for watching this edition of Dragon Ball Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to please go on ahead and drop your comments and questions down below. I would have to say particularly involving all the recent events of Dragon Ball Super, just so we can all catch up and have ourselves a good time. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to also go on ahead and punch that subscribe button, guys. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.